Which, I mean, mirror?
Madam Lee, she
Okay.
was waiting. Maybe she has picked her. She has been waiting for long and day.
Okay, I'm extremely sorry for that. I was not near my laptop.
Okay, no problem. Okay, can go on.
Yeah, we shall continue so you can watch the video later point of time. Okay, so we are talking about the integer data type in SQL. So basically in C++ we have seen that integer data type is only one which can store integer data type, right? But in SQL there are a different type of integer data type to store different amount of data. So big integer is basically to use a very big integer number, 2 to the power 63 to 2 to the power 63, positive plus negative. Integer is basically from 231 to 2 to the power 31, and small int is basically to 2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15, negative and positive both. And teeny int is basically used where we need to store the data in between 2 to 225 only. So obviously whenever we create a column we have some kind of information available for us, so that which kind of data and how long the data can we can are going to expecting, right? So let's say I want to create a age column. So obviously this age column is not going to be larger than this 255, isn't it? Right? So why do we use this integer data type? Instead of that we are going to use tiny int, because 2 in between 2 to 255 we can store this age information, right? But let's say I want to create an enrollment number or a registration number, something like this, like 145062, something like this one. So obviously this tiny int is now not going to be considered, right? Because it's only range from 0 to 255, so we need to go for other options, right? So whatever the amount of data we are going to show or we are going to store, we have some kind of information or some estimation of that, right? So based on that estimation we are going to declare the data type for the column. Now decimal, obviously decimal we have learned about this in C++ as well. The decimal points like 2.33 or 32, so this is a decimal value, right? So for to store the decimal values we are going to create a decimal data type, and the format to create a decimal data type is this one, decimal, then bracket, and inside this bracket we need to pass two parameters. What are those parameters? So the P is precision, which is the maximum total number of decimal digits that will be stored both to the left and to the right of the decimal point. The precision has a range of 1 to 38. The default is precision is 38. So basically it means is that this one is the size of the number. Like I want to store 2 2.32, only two digit before the decimal, two digit after the decimal. So what I will do, I will create a decimal of 2, decimal of 2, and this s is the how many precision, how many, s is the scale which is the number of decimal digits that will be stored to the digits. So how many place up to you want this after decimal, so you need to define here. So the default, if I do not, if I will just create decimal and nothing inside this parameter, this is going to store 38 by default. So the length of the decimal value we can decide. Let's say I want to store the money of is money for a small business. So obviously the money should not be must not be greater than 1 crore, because it's a small organization or a small company. So for that I will create decimal 6, and after point we don't need, we only need two digits, 6 something like this, only up to two digits after decimal. So I will create 6 comma 2, something like this one. So in SQL we have the power to decide what amount of length we want. The numeric and decimal are synonyms. Synonym means we can use both interchangeably. Therefore, you can use interchangeably. We can create decimal 5 2, or we can also create numeric. These are the interchangeable name for the to store the decimal values. These are the two data types. Okay. So we can use both of them. Okay, now date. Let's say I want to store students DOB. DOB means date of birth. Date of birth. Or let's say I have a employee table. In this employee table, I want to store the employee joining date. Date of joining, DOJ. Date of joining. So obviously this date of joining and date of birth will be in the form of date, right? So to store a date, we need to have a data type called date. So the data type accept date values. No parameters are required when declaring a date, meaning we do not need to consider this. Any parameters is not required by this data type. Declaring a data type. Date value should be specified in the form of this one: month, year, month, and date. So there is a format, default format for date. Whenever we want to, let's say, store the value of date inside my column, so I need to specify the date in this format only. Let's say the date of joining is 2021, then the month of the date, month of the date, so let's say in the month of December, and in the date of 1. So I need to specify in the form of this format only. No other formats is accepted. Let's say date format has so many format, right? Like if you want to write the date, I can write 2nd December 2021. This is also a format of date. Let's say 2/3/2021. So this is also a format. So there are so many formats available of date, right? But the only format which is accepted by the SQL is this one. We need to specify the date in this format only then it is going to accept, otherwise it is going to show the exception. Value assigned to the date data type should be enclosed in single quotes. Single quote means this one called as single quote and this one is called as double quote. So in SQL, whenever we pass a date, let's say this is my table, and in this table there is a column DOJ, date of joining, and I want to submit any data. So I need to write a query. Obviously we are going to see how to write a query, but for now you just need to understand, or you just need to remember, whenever we want to submit any data, we need to enclose this in a single quote. Let's say 2021 20105, something like this. So we always need to enclose this inside a single quote, only then it is going to be accepted. Now time. So let's say day. What is difference between date and time? Today is what? 18th November, right? 18th November 2021. But inside this, let's say I want to store this is my student table, and I have stored the DOB, date of birth. Now let's say I want to store at which time the student come into our school and which time does a student leave our school. Basically in time and out time I want to store for each and every student. So for let's say on 18th November, this student came to our school at 9 a.m. and they go for 4 p.m. So basically what I'm trying to say is that date is totally different than time. In date we store the date, and in time we have 24 hours format, we have 12-hour format, right? So there are so many formats, and which format is accepted by time, we are going to see that. So the time data type accept time values. No parameters are required when declaring a time data type, meaning we do not need to pass any parameter. We can simply just write time only to declare a column as a time data type. Date value should be specified in the form of hour, minute, second. So this is the format which is going to accepted by this time data type. We need to have hour and minute and let's say seconds. So we can pass 00 if we do not have any seconds value. So this is the format how this time is going to accept. The minute and second values must be two digits in the form of, let's say someone has entered at the 9 2 p.m. 9 2 a.m. 9 2 a.m. So we cannot give something like this. We need to have a format of two digits. Two digit for hour, two digit for minutes, and two digits for seconds. So if 2 second, 2 minute, and at 9 a.m. So I need to pass something like this in the format of two digits. Hour value should be between 0 to 23. Hours value, we have 24 hours in a day, right? But we obviously know that there is maximum time of 23:59, right? This is the maximum time in a day. So what the constant is here, hours value should be between 0 to 23. This hour value should be 0 to 23 only. We cannot specify 25 hours, something like this. This is going to generate an exception and error. Minute value should be 0 to 59. This value of minute should be always 0 to 59. And seconds value is up to 0 to 61.99. So these are the rules which we need to follow while inserting any data in the time format.
Why is seconds 61 and not 59?
Because it's a rule of SQL, I cannot say anything. We are going to use one of the tool, right? And obvious rules everywhere. So this is the rule of this one.
Okay.
Values assigned to the time data type should be enclosed in single quotes. Again, this is also should be enclosed in a single quote. And something like 2.00. This is 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. We are going to see that. So this should be also enclosed in single quote. Date should be also enclosed in single quote, not double quote. Okay, only then we can insert the value. And next we have the timestamp. What is this? The timestamp data type accept timestamp values which are a combination of date values and a time value. This is actually a combination of date and time. Let's say someone has signed a paper at some time. So what I need to store? I need to store the date as well as time, right? If let's say I just store the time only, so I cannot clearly say on which date this person has signed this document. And let's say I just store the date value only, so I cannot say at what timing this person has signed this document, and this document is very very important, right? So in this case what I need to store? I need to store the date as well as time. So I need to store both of these data. So this type of data can be handled by this data type. Okay, and the format for this one is YYY, means year, month and date. After that we need to specify the time here. This one is the format. So for to store the date we have a store date data type. To store the time we have a time data type. To store the date and time both I need to use this data type, right? So according to our requirement we are going to use any one of them. So let's say I want to store the date of joining, date of birth, so I do not need time for that, right? I can only store the date. Let's say I want to time in, time out, or the signed document. So according to our requirement we are going to use any one of them. all specified and restriction noted for the date and time data type also apply to this one. Okay, so all the rules which we have discussed previously, that this should be in the 4-digit format, 2-digit format, 2-digit format, and this should be in the 2-digit formats, right? So all the rules which we have discussed previously, all the rules are same apply for this data type also. Value assigned to this data type should be enclosed in single quote. Again, this should be also enclosed in a single quote. Only then it is going to be accepted by the database. Okay, so I think it is clear to all of you, or if you have any doubt, or if you would like to know more about more data types, I will create one more slide for this. But for now, I think it's far enough, and we are going to see the data type creating in a real database. Okay, so this is my database. Let's say I have created a table called students. How we actually create a column, how we actually create a table, we are going to look for that. Okay, but for now I'll just show you a demo for that. So let's say this is my table, and in this data type, let's say I want to store the name of the students. Is it visible? Okay. So let's say this is my student table, and in this table I want to store the name of the student. So this is the column name. What the columns I want, I will give some name, right? And after defining the name, I need to specify the type of data. So this name is obviously variable length. Someone has very long name, someone has very short name, right? So instead of you character here, I will have a varchar, right? Varchar of, let's say, nobody has more than 250 characters name, right? So I will specify something like this id, student specific id, we are going to create as a primary key, this id. And we already have discussed about the id primary key, right? Let's say I want to store the date of birth, so I will create dob as a name of the column, and this column should be date, right? So I will define something date here. So this is going to accept date as a data type. Okay, let's say I want to store some uh, a present status. So is present or not, meaning is present. So obviously it is the student would be present or not present, right? So there is only two possibilities, true or false. So is present is going to have only two value, true or false. So I will create boolean for this, right? So these are the kind of data types which we can use according to our requirement. And if you have any doubt, you can let me know regarding this or anything previously which we have discussed in our previous classes. I hope you are revising your classes regularly.
Yes, yes.
So is there any doubt?
No, madam. It's everything clear.
Okay, that's good. So let me just see the time, what the time. If we still have any time, then we are going to discuss. We already have discussed keys and this part. Okay, let's practice this one then. So we have discussed about how to create a, no, we are going to discuss about how to create a table, how we can define which column I want, what would be the name of the column, right? So all kind of things which we are going to see in practically. So we are basically going to discuss about the SQL syntax, just like how we have discussed about the, okay, basically SQL has select column, SQL distinct. mm, I think this is not that slide. Yeah, this one. Okay, from this slide we are actually going to create a database or a table or a specified any columns. Okay, so what is SQL? We have discussed this in our previous example so many times. Structured query language, right? Which was previously termed as SQL, structured English query language, right? Almost all relational database. What is relational database? Can you explain this? What is a relational database? Okay,
Okay.
I think you are not
So
revising your
I can say,
classes. Mm-hmm. Go
okay,
ahead.
can I give it just in my just my own understanding before I go to the main? I can, okay, when you have some data being shared between, let's say, one DB and another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
No, no,
like,
no, no. Okay, okay, let me
sorry.
explain this. Let me explain this. Actually, we have seen different models. Models means the way you store, the way you do, the way you store. So we have seen different models to store a data. Let's say we have some amount of data, and it totally depends on me how I am going to store this data. Either I can use the file holder system, I can use other models, right? So we have different models available. One of them are DBMS, then we have a network model, so many models which we have discussed in our previous classes. So relational model is one of them, and relational model is basically very popular among nowadays. Relational model does what? It stores the data in the form of table. We are discussing this in so many times, right? In relational database, what we do, we store our database in the form of tables. And this SQL language came into picture when we store our data in the form of table. Then this SQL language is used to retrieve or insert any data inside this table, right? We have discussed about manipulation of data. The manipulation means update, insert, delete. So we can perform these functions on this table only when we know this language, right? I can talk to you only when I know English and you also know English, right? In the same way, we have a tool, we have a different tool, not only one. So we have different tools to store the data in the form of what? In the form of tables. So to retrieve the data and to insert any data, we need to know a language which is understood by this tool as well as by us, right? So this language is nothing but SQL. And now let's come to this point. Almost all relational database management system use SQL. So all relational database management system use SQL as a language to manipulate and retrieval the data. So we can insert the data, we can retrieve the data, we can update some data, we can whatever the manipulation I want, I can do in my tables only when I know this SQL language. Okay, now SQL is a non-procedural language. What does mean? Where you need to concentrate on what you want, not how you get it. So I have discussed this in a very first class that SQL is a query language or a non-procedural language, and whether a C++, Java, these are the programming languages, right? In the very first video we have discussed about this. So in programming languages we need to tell each and everything to the computer, how to do and when to do, right? But in SQL we only need to consider what you want, not how. What you want, just what you want. Let's say I want 10 number of students list should be present here. So this SQL, I will write a query, I will write a, let's say, English statement, something like, which is going to be termed as query. For now let's just say I have written something like, please give me 10 number of rows, so it is going to present 10 number of rows. Please delete this data, so it is going to delete this data. Please insert one more data, so it is going to insert one more data. So I just only need to tell the tool that what to do. It is how it is going to be performed, it is totally depend on tool. We do not need to consider this, we just need to consider what I want to do only. Whereas in programming languages, let's say I want to add a 2 number, so I need to tell each and every instruction to the computer. Let's say take an input, then perform this plus operation, then return the result, right? So how to do a task is a programming languages, but what to do a task and what you want is a non-procedural language or a query language, because we write some query to perform these functions. SQL commands are divided into 4 categories depending what they do. Commands mean, let's say you are a machine and I am the human. So obviously I will give command to you. According to my command, you are going to perform some task, right? So in the same way, we have this tool where we store our data in the database, right? So and we are the human beings, so we are going to give some commands to this tool. Based on our commands only, this tool is going to perform some task, right? So what kind of command I can give, the commands is also divided into different parts. Data definition language, this is one of the most used command. Then we have a data manipulation language, these are the command names, right? Let's say I want you to sit here, right? Let's say this is me, this is you, and I want to give command to you, let's just sit here. So this sitting is a command, right? So in the same way we have please stand out, please go there, please come here. So these are the things which we as a human use, right? And we can divide them into multiple parts. Let's say if someone is senior to me, I will ask please do this. If someone is younger than me, I will give command to different, right? So in the same way we have a different kind of commands which we can give to this SQL, and these commands are divided into multiple parts. Data control language, transaction control language, data query language. Okay, now types of SQL commands. We already have we are just going to see this SQL command. So we have discussed this basic type of commands, and inside these commands we have different tasks. In data definition language, what command we can give? We can give create. Create means create anything, create a database, create a table, create a column, right? So these all create command is under this DDL, data definition language. Then we have a drop. Drop is basically for delete, but delete is totally different than this one. But drop is basically used when where we are permanently want to delete something. Alter means change. Let's say first I have created a student table, okay, and inside this student table I am going to store some student details. Now I don't want I don't like this student name, I want to change this name. So I will give alter command. Alter the student name, student to student information, something, anything. So
Hello?
alter. Yes, yes.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Please, I'm requesting that you can repeat that part for DDL. I was not getting it well because of rains. Kindly.
Okay, okay, okay. I was basically talking about is that as a human being, let's say I am the human being and this is my computer and this is a machine, or maybe. So obviously we give some command to this machine. Let's say when I click this red button, this is going to stop working. When I click this green button, it is going to start working, right? So we basically give some commands to our machine, to our computer. Based on that command, computer performs some task, right? So in an SQL, we also do the same. We have different types of commands which we give to our tables. Let's say I want to create a table, so I will give some kind of command. Let's say I want to delete this one, so I will give some another kind of command, right? Command is basically a statement or a query which we are going to write to perform any task. So these commands are divided into four categories, and the name of the categories are these: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL and DQL. We are going to look one by one for each and every one. So this is the overall, you can see here. So under the DDL command, data definition language. Definition means which we are going to something create. So create, drop, alter, truncate. Truncate means deleting. So these are all the creating or deleting type of commands. This is insert, update, delete. So any kind of information when I want to insert somewhere, then I am going to use this insert. DCL, grant, revoke, commit, rollback. We are going to look one by one. DQL, data query language. Query language means select. Select means when I want to show some information. Show some information. Let's say I have a table of 100 student data and I want to list them inside my page. So what I will do, I will use this select statement, select query. Select is basically to retrieve the data. So for now, just let's think that we have a different kind of commands which we can give to our which we give to our tables, and based on that commands, our tool is going to perform some operations, right? And these commands are divided into multiple categories, and we are going to look one by one each of them. Okay, so okay, yeah, that's it for today. We are going to look for each and every one in the next class.